Merrick Mayfair, a witch so powerful she danced with spirits, only to trade her magic for a vampire's eternal hunger. This is the story of Merrick Mayfair, a woman caught between the living and the dead, a witch who became a vampire, forever torn by her own power. Picture her standing in a New Orleans church at midnight, her dark curls catching the candlelight, her eyes searching the shadows for answers she might never find. This is no ordinary tale of magic or blood. It's a journey through a soul divided, and by the end, you'll wonder, what does it mean to wield power you can't control? Merrick was born into a world of secrets, deep in the sultry heat of New Orleans. The Mayfair family, with their sprawling mansion and whispered legacy of witchcraft, shaped her from the start. Her mother, Cold Sandra, was often absent, leaving her to be raised by Great Nanan, a voodoo priestess with a commanding gaze, in a dilapidated house filled with altars and incense. Merrick learned early that the spirits were real. She could hear their whispers, feel their cold touch. As a child, she lit candles for the lower, her small hands steady as she called names into the dark. But power like that comes with a price. The spirits didn't just answer her, they demanded her loyalty, and that weight settled into her bones. As a young woman, Merrick's gifts caught the eye of the Talamasca, a shadowy order obsessed with the supernatural. They saw her as a prodigy, a Mayfair witch with voodoo in her blood, able to summon spirits with ease. She joined them, studying ancient texts in their archives, her dark eyes scanning pages for secrets about her family's past. Therefore, she grew stronger, mastering spells that could bend the veil between worlds. But the Talamasca's scholarly restraint clashed with her instincts. She was a witch, and her heart belonged to the wild magic of New Orleans. Back in the city, Merrick carved her own path. She walked the French Quarter at dusk, her silk dresses brushing the uneven sidewalks, her cheekbones catching the glow of street lamps. She wasn't just beautiful, she was magnetic, drawing eyes and whispers wherever she went. Her magic grew darker too. She could summon spirits not just to speak, but to manifest, as she did one night in a candlelit church, calling forth Claudia's ghost with a power that chilled the air. Yet every spell pushed her closer to a line she couldn't uncross. The spirits were her allies, but they were also her jailers, binding her to a destiny she didn't fully understand. Enter Louis de Pointe du Lac, the vampire with green eyes that burned with grief. He came to Merrick with a desperate plea: summon the spirit of Claudia, the child vampire he'd lost decades ago. Picture Louis in a candlelit room, his pale face haunted, his voice heavy as he asked Merrick to bring Claudia back, if only for a moment. Merrick agreed, driven by curiosity to test if her power could pierce the veil of death itself. Therefore, she prepared a ritual, her hands steady as she arranged bones and herbs in a sacred space. The air grew heavy, the candles flickered, and Claudia's spirit appeared, a child with golden curls and a voice like broken glass. That moment was Merrick's first emotional peak, a triumph laced with dread. Claudia's spirit wasn't just a ghost, it was a storm of rage and sorrow, accusing Louis of her doomed existence. Merrick stood transfixed, her heart heavy, as the spirit's words cut through the room. She'd done the impossible, but at what cost? The ritual left her drained, her connection to the spirit stronger and more dangerous than ever. Louis, shattered by Claudia's anger, turned to Merrick for solace, and their bond deepened. But then, his own darkness called to her, a vampire's hunger, a promise of eternity. Merrick's life spiraled toward its climax. Louis, tormented by his own existence, offered her the dark gift, vampirism. She hesitated, her witch's heart warring with the lure of immortality. Picture her in a dimly lit New Orleans room, her dark curls framing her face. She knew the choice would alter her bond with the spirits, her Mayfair legacy, and everything she'd been. Therefore, she said yes, driven by love and the need to escape her mortal chains. But then, the transformation was agony. Her blood burned, her body remade itself, and her connection to the spirits transformed with her new vampiric nature. As a vampire, Merrick was reborn, her skin now luminous, her dark eyes sharper, hungrier. She walked New Orleans at night, a predator cloaked in silk, her cheekbones casting shadows under streetlights. But the spirits she once commanded were distant now, their whispers transformed by her new vampiric nature. This was her second emotional peak, the crushing loneliness of immortality. She'd gained eternity, but lost the anchor of her mortal self. David Talbot, her Talamasca mentor turned vampire, tried to guide her, but even he couldn't fill the void. Merrick realized she was neither witch nor mortal, but something new, caught between worlds. Merrick's legacy is one of duality, a woman who wielded immense power, only to transform it through an even greater force. Picture her now, standing with Louis and David in a New Orleans night, her luminous skin glowing under streetlights, her dark eyes reflecting her vampiric hunger. She's a vampire, yes, but also a Mayfair, forever tied to the magic now altered by her new nature. Her story asks us, what does it mean to be powerful if it costs you everything? Comment below, what's your take on Merrick's choice? Did she gain more than she lost?